Most people think getting rich is about luck, talent, or having the right idea at the right time. But the truth is, 90% of people will never become wealthy, even if they earn decent money. Let me explain why. I break down money, behavior, and investing in a simple, realistic way, without hype, without gurus, and without pretending it's easy. This video isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about understanding the quiet habits and decisions that separate the top 10% from everyone else, and how ordinary people can move in that direction. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but not getting ahead, this will feel familiar. Let's start with a story. Imagine someone named Daniel. Daniel is smart. He went to school. He got a stable job. He earns a reasonable salary. He pays his bills. He even gets small raises over time. From the outside, Daniel is doing everything right. But 10 years later, Daniel checks his bank account. He has very little savings. No serious investments. And if he lost his job, he'd be in trouble within months. Daniel isn't lazy. He isn't irresponsible. He's just following the default path most people follow. And this is the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail financially because of one big mistake. They fail because of small decisions repeated for decades. This pattern plays out all over the world. In the US, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. Different economies. Same behaviors. And that's why most people never get rich. Not because they can't, but because they never change the default script. Here's what the default script looks like. You grow up. You're told to study hard. Get a degree. Get a job. Buy a car. Rent or buy a home. Pay bills. Upgrade your lifestyle slowly. Save when you can. Maybe invest someday. Sounds reasonable. But there's a hidden issue. The system is designed to keep you consuming, not investing. Everywhere you look, you're encouraged to spend. New phones every year. Bigger apartments, better cars, trendy clothes, streaming subscriptions, food delivery, vacations financed with credit. None of these are evil. But together, they quietly consume the money that could have built wealth. And most people never question it. They think, I'll start investing when I earn more. I'll save later. I deserve to enjoy life now. And years pass. Let's put real numbers behind this. In the United States, over 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Nearly half of adults have less than $1,000 in savings. The median retirement account balance for people in their 40s is under $50,000. About 1 in 3 adults carry credit card debt month to month. This isn't because they don't earn money. Many earn average or above average salaries. The issue is behavioral, not just income. Now let's compare two people. Person A, the default path. Starts working at 25. Earns $50,000 per year, spends almost everything, saves occasionally, starts investing at 40. Invests $300 per month until age 65. Result at 65, assuming 7% annual return, is almost equal to $260,000. Not terrible, but not financial freedom. Not rich. Person B, the 10% path. Same salary. Same start at 25. Lives slightly below their means. Invests $300 per month starting immediately at 25. Keeps investing until 65. Result is almost equal to $750,000 to $900,000. Same income. Same monthly amount. Just started earlier. This is the quiet power of compounding. And here's the key insight. Time matters more than talent. Consistency matters more than intensity. The top 10% don't necessarily earn more at the beginning. They just start earlier and stay consistent. If this is so obvious, why don't more people do it? Because humans are wired for the present. Psychologists call this present bias. We value $100 today more than $150 next year. We choose comfort now over security later. That's why buying something today feels better than investing. Avoiding discomfort feels better than budgeting. Lifestyle upgrades feel better than delayed gratification. The top 10% aren't superhuman. They just learn to design their environment to beat their own psychology. Let's return to Daniel. Daniel gets a raise. Instead of investing it, he upgrades his apartment. gets a nicer car, eats out more often. His income grows. So does his lifestyle. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. Every new dollar earned gets assigned to consumption, not ownership. Over time, he owns depreciating things, not appreciating assets. His net worth barely grows. His stress grows. This isn't failure. It's the default. Let's clarify something. Getting rich doesn't mean private jets or mansions. In real financial terms, being rich means your investments can cover your basic living costs. You're not dependent on a paycheck. You have time freedom. You can handle emergencies without panic. That level of wealth is achievable for ordinary people, but only if they do what the majority won't. For most people who end up in the top 10%, there's a turning point. Sometimes it's a financial scare, seeing parents struggle in retirement, realizing they're living paycheck to paycheck, or simply understanding compounding for the first time. In Daniel's case, imagine he's 35. He looks at his bank account. He realizes he has worked for over a decade and has almost nothing to show for it. No investments, no safety net, no long-term plan. That moment creates a question. If I keep going like this, where will I be in 20 years? That question changes everything. At this moment, most people do one of two things. The 90% response. They feel temporary motivation, maybe save for a few months, then return to old habits. The 10% response. They redesign their entire system, not with extreme sacrifice, but with small, consistent structural changes. That's the real difference. Not intelligence, not luck, not inheritance. Systems over motivation. Let's break down exactly what the top 10% do differently in realistic, beginner-friendly steps. Step 1. They track their money. Not obsessively, not perfectly, but they know how much comes in, how much goes out, where it goes. You can't improve what you don't measure. Most people avoid looking. The top 10% look calmly and regularly. Step 2. They pay themselves first. Before bills. Before shopping. Before entertainment. Even if it's just 5 to 10%. They automate investing so it happens without relying on willpower. Automation beats motivation. Step 3. They avoid lifestyle inflation. When income increases, they increase investments first. Then allow small lifestyle improvements. Most people reverse this order. This single habit creates a massive long-term gap. Step 4. They use simple, boring investments. Not risky speculation. Not complicated strategies. But broad index funds. Long-term holding. Consistent contributions. Boring beats exciting in investing. Step 5. They build emergency buffers. 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. This prevents debt during crises. Most people skip this step and fall back into the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Step 6. They think in decades, not months. They understand. Wealth is slow. Compounding is quiet. Progress feels invisible at first. Most people quit too early. The top 10% stay the course. Step 7. They learn continuously. Not formal degrees, but personal finance, investing basics, behavioral psychology. Small knowledge upgrades lead to better decisions forever. Let's do simple math. If you invest $10 per day, that's $300 per month, $3,600 per year. Over 30 years at 7% is almost equal to $340,000. Just $10 per day. Not extreme, not painful, but most people never do it because $10 today feels small, but $340,000 later feels abstract. The top 10% train themselves to respect the invisible future. This pattern isn't just American. In Nigeria, in India, in Brazil, in Europe, the currencies differ. The wages differ. But the principles are identical. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference. Start early. Stay consistent. Avoid high-interest debt. The math of compounding works the same everywhere. The challenge is behavioral everywhere. You might wonder, if this is so important, why isn't it taught in school? Because Consumer economies depend on spending. Financial literacy benefits individuals, not corporations. Most adults never learned it themselves. So the knowledge passes slowly, which means those who learn it early gain a huge advantage. The top 10% don't feel rich at first. For years that drive modest cars, skip luxury trends, say no to certain temptations. Outwardly they look average, but internally, their net worth grows. Their stress reduces. Their options expand. Eventually, their investments begin working harder than they do. That's when the curve bends. But only after patience. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 20. Wealth is not built in breakthroughs. It's built in quiet repetition. The hardest part is starting. The second hardest part is staying consistent when results feel invisible. But over time, the math always wins. Let's return to Daniel. 2 paths. Path 1, he stays on the default script. At 60, he still works because he has to. Path 2, he changes his system at 35. By 60, his investments cover his basic life. Same person, same intelligence, different habits. That's the real gap between 90% and 10%. If you want more calm, simple breakdowns of money and behavior like this, you're welcome to subscribe. No pressure. Just here to help you build a clearer financial path.